Menny, you have been in the army, you have been an advisor. We have here a lot of legends about the Israeli army and their attacks or their defense in cybersecurity, in everything inside the Iran virus that destroyed all of that. Are they true? What is? Give me what happens in the Israeli army, and if they are true, that's what's happening in Iran, or?
If I'll tell you, I'll have to kill you.
I don't know. You can just hack my cell phone, and that's right.
No, obviously, obviously, I cannot talk about things that go on in the army, but I think that Edward Snowden published everything that went inside the NSA, and to some extent, the NSA is the model for every other intelligence entity worldwide. So, if you learn what happens there, you discover that governments around the world will do amazing things to get information. They will manipulate hardware devices. They will work together with private companies to collect information about their users. They will use spies. They will use informants. They will use everything that they have in order to promote their national security agenda. And I think you will discover that governments around the world are doing super creative, almost science fiction things in order to do whatever.
Well, we have satellites that are spying everybody and say they can see you are going to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's exactly that, but...
Yeah, I don't know if satellites see you when you go to the bathroom. Yes. I hope specifically not here in this hotel, but yes, the level of information collection is much higher than people usually think.
It's higher than what we imagined. We are using, you said some moments ago that we have to be careful or be knowledge that what we put on Facebook or in Google. But we have everything on our cell phones. All our life goes. You buy tickets, you buy everything in your cell phone. You send pictures to everybody, you go to a party. Everything is on our cell phone.
Yeah.
It's just not to use this phone. What to do, because we do everything with the cell phone, with our most of it, and in our computer we are connected to all the company. So if you tell me not to put everything on Google or not to put everything on Facebook, what not to put, because we have already everything there.
So I'll give you some rules of thumb with regards to what you should and shouldn't do. Number one, put a PIN code on your phone.
Yes, I'm going to.
Come on.
Yes.
We talked about it like 5 minutes ago. You still don't
I haven't put it. Yes.
Do that. Number two.
And a number I can't remember.
Number you can remember. Please don't do 1111. I'm using it. No, just kidding. Number two.
000.
Yeah, 00. Nobody's using 0000, so it's free. You can use it. Number two is that don't put sensitive information on Facebook, on Google, and other...
What is sensitive information?
Things that if everyone will know about them, will create a lot of damage to you or to anyone you like or love, or in your family or in your life. Like
don't let your cell phone to your wife.
Nude pictures, sensitive documents, things that you would only say to another person when you're alone. Don't put them. If you can prevent yourself from putting those super sensitive things on the web, try to reduce. And
not to send it also by mail. It's also the same thing.
Yeah. Again, you don't need to be a paranoid. I'm a paranoid. You don't need to be a paranoid. But definitely, if you're reducing the amount of sensitive information you're putting on the web, the less likely someone can get access to this information. Obviously, it's not there, right? Number three. Back up your files. This is very important. Back up your files.
On the net, or put it on another? Because many people have a backup in Google Drive, in iTunes, whatever. You put it on the net. Is that the correct way, or to put it on physical?
So anyone should choose for himself, because there are benefits in putting it on a physical external drive, and there are benefits in putting it on the web. I personally put it on the web, because the downside of putting it on an external hard drive is, number one, if someone goes inside your house and steal your computer, he will probably steal the external hard drive as well, and then you lost all the information. Number two, if there is fire there that will destroy your computer, it will probably destroy the hard drive as well, and then you lost your information. Number 3, if you have a ransomware or a virus that will delete the information on your computer, and for some reason your hard drive was connected to your computer at this time, the information on the hard drive was deleted as well. So for those reasons and other reasons, I personally, and everybody should choose for themselves, I personally decide to put my information on the cloud. But back up your files, even putting it on an external hard drive is better than not doing anything at all. Don't open files, don't open emails, don't click on anything if you don't know where exactly it came from and what exactly is the nature of this file link and so on and so forth. Because this is the way hackers gain access to your information. They want you to click on something, they want you to install something. This is a very important step in hacking. They need you to help them. Don't help them. Be smart about it. Be curious, read, ask questions, be involved. It's very, very important.
Don't get that in that is sent by email or by WhatsApp or wherever that says you got 2 free tickets, whatever, or I don't know, any airline is giving
$1 billion. Just click here.
Just click here. Or
don't click there.
There are many frauds. We just put a page, especially for people not to get there to investigate if that is if a medicine is bad. You can destroy somebody just by putting something on the internet, or you can just put. I don't know, LL is giving free tickets to every 10 people that send 10 mails to other people. That doesn't happen, no? It doesn't help. If you send 10 WhatsApp to other people, it won't get you free.
Definitely don't send 10 WhatsApp to 10 people to get free, I don't know, shoes or cars. It never works. Don't do that.
We lose our credibility, we lose our signs of to get something not free, to get something, to win something, we lose that because we are all the time, like you say, paranoid. Is that correct? Do we have to be? They are correct. How to not to be paranoid and to believe, to have that sense, that little small of being not so paranoid, to believe and have, oh right, he sent me a photo, it's true, he loves me.
So when you're driving a car, right? You know that every second someone can jump to the street and a car can come and hit you. So you drive the car, but you're aware of the surrounding, right, all the time. That's the way you have to be. You're not paranoid when you're driving in the car. You not always think that something bad is going to happen, but if something bad happens, you're ready. So that's the way you have to use technology, right? I don't want you to be paranoid and suspect everything, but you have to be smart enough to make the basic assumptions. Is that if you receive a file, even from your friend, and this file makes no sense, like if I sometimes get text messages from friends of mine, and they say, well, this is a cool picture of you, please click here. I never click. I always text them or call them, asking them, did you really send me this picture? And many times, you discover that they didn't.
Yes.
Someone hacked their account.
But we want to be good. When I get a promotion in my cell phone, somebody said that we are going to get 50% discount on, I don't know, I want to share it with everybody, but I didn't see it neither, but I want to share it. We have that instinct to share it.
Yeah.
So we have to be precautious with that.
Yeah, you have to be aware of the problems and ask questions. If you receive something that makes no sense or little sense, so people many times have instincts and they feel that something is not right, but they don't follow those instincts. They don't ask questions because sometimes they don't feel comfortable. Sometimes they say, nah, it's nothing, I should click it. Trust your instincts. If you feel that something is off and something is not exactly right, ask questions. Call this person who sent you this text message. Think about something. Think before you share it, right?
Do in the University of Tel Aviv or in Israel, do they have any app or do they have anything or a call center or a page where we can check and say, all right, is this correct? This really exists? Because I know there are places, is there something you are working on that to help people not to get involved in this kind of thing?
So in Tel Aviv University, we always encourage people to ask questions. So we believe that asking questions is sometimes more important than just giving the answers, right? Just the questions are very important because they raise the level of awareness. So we always tell people, ask questions. The people in the center are very accessible. So anyone that has any question in the ecosystem, in the Israeli ecosystem, knows that they can involve the Tel Aviv University, the ICRC, the Interdisciplinary Cyber Research Center. They can involve us, and we participate in many think tanks and in many groups that are trying to find a creative way to solve a problem, right? So we have brilliant people there at the center, and they are always trying to promote cybersecurity. Specifically, if you have a specific question about something that happened, obviously you can ask me. You have my email. You can ask me.
If not, they can call us in Diario Judío, and we will call Menny and ask him what's happened. But don't give him his number because he can get inside your cell phone or your computer.
But there are a lot of websites on the internet, discussion groups where you can ask there. Many of your friends know, so I always encourage people to talk to their friends because everybody can help everybody, right? So just be curious, right? Ask questions.
How do you see the future? We go very accelerated. 5 years ago we saw it different. Now we have to have the new app. We have to have everything. It's moving so fast. How do you see the future in internet, in cybersecurity? How do you see it around the world and in our lives?
So it's important to understand that it becomes easier and easier to hack things and harder to secure them. So there is a symmetry between the ability of the hacker and the ability of the security guy, right? A hacker has to succeed one time, security guy has to succeed all the time. Hackers can attack one point, security guys have to secure everything. Hacking is very cheap, security is very costly. At the same time, we are talking about the world of IoT, the Internet of Things, where we will have more and more things connected to the Internet. From the hacker's perspective, more things connected to the Internet means more
accessibility to your company.
More targets, more things to attack, more ways to attack them, more information that can be stolen, right? More exploits. And we're becoming more dependent on technology. That basically means that there are more ways to attack us. The future of cybersecurity currently is not very bright. In the next years, even though we spend billions on cybersecurity, we have the best people working on that, we have a state-of-the-art solutions, right, being created. Even though we have all of those things, we know that big companies are going to be hacked in the years to come. 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, more major companies are going to be hacked. We know that for a fact. So the thing that we don't see in the world of cybersecurity, we need to see, is disruption. We see only incremental innovation. Like, we improve the way we do things, but we don't see disruption, something that will completely change the way we think about cybersecurity. And that's the key to the future. And those are some of the things that we're trying to do at the Tel Aviv University. We're trying to create disruption in the world of cybersecurity. Completely change the picture and give us, the people who are in charge of cybersecurity, give us the lead and the edge.
But you are always back. Before it comes, the people that are trying to hack or that they invent something, and then you came. You cannot prevent something that it didn't happen, or can you do it? Because maybe that's one of the challenges in Israel, because how to prevent what is the other going to think?
That's a very interesting question, because the world of cybersecurity is not exactly like the world of medicine. In the world of medicine, you need the sickness before the drug, right? But in the world of cybersecurity, you have security researchers, and they're always working on finding new ways to exploit technology. So we are the ones trying to find the next sickness and trying to solve it before the hackers will do that. It's not always work. It not always works. Sometimes we discover that there is a new attack vector, or many times we discover that there is a new attack vector that we didn't know about. But in the world of cybersecurity, you have the opportunity to find the problem before the hackers. And this is something that we're trying to do in the Tel Aviv University. We're trying to find the next problems, right, and solve them before we will see hackers exploit them.
How do you do it? You try to hack also, to invent the hacker so you can...
Definitely. If you read some of the researchers that we publish at the ICRC, you will discover that some of them contain new attack vectors, new ways to attack computers, right, in a very creative way.
That's not a problem because you are giving other people the ways to attack. You already have maybe the solution, but you are giving the way already to attack. It's not.
Yeah. So the world, the cybersecurity world, is working is that people publish information about new ways to attack because that's the driver of the ecosystem to create new solutions all the time. So there is something that's called responsible disclosure. If you find a new way to attack, I don't know, iPhones, you will tell Apple before you tell the world, and you give Apple the opportunity to fix this problem before you publish it. But after a few months, after they already fix it, you will publish this information because it's very important, so people will know about this exploit, will know why it's important to continue improving your security, and you will get the reputation for finding this exploit, and this will lead other people to try and find other exploits, so they will get more reputation, and that's the way we will solve the problems. People will find an exploit, will disclose them to the companies, they will fix the problems, and then we will learn about that.
They will fix it, or they will they create it better, bigger, so they can sell you something to solve it. Because it can also be they use it to provoke the urge to buy something else because they have the solution, like the antivirus and everything.
Yeah. Sometimes you see companies are trying to sell you more products by making you scared. They tell you, your phone can be hacked, we can do that right now, buy our product. In the world of cybersecurity, this is a very common way to sell things.
Does it exist really an antivirus? Do you have to have an antivirus or in your cell phone? Well, somebody tells that not, and others says.
Yeah, I don't have an antivirus on my cell phone, but I don't install anything and I don't open anything on my smartphone, right? So I'm not saying that antiviruses on smartphones don't do good things. Definitely there are some companies that have succeeded in creating those applications, good applications. We have several startup companies in Israel, brilliant companies that have succeeded in creating security solutions for smartphones. But it's not as effective as antiviruses on Windows, obviously because Windows has many more viruses.
And then what do you think about companies like WikiLeaks that are looking for finding things and putting to the public? How do you see that?
So there is a very delicate balance we need to find between keeping things secret and publish them. I have a lot of criticism towards WikiLeaks. I think that some of the things that they published, they shouldn't have published. They created more damage than good things, but other things that they published did a lot of good to the world, right? So, from one hand, we need whistleblowers. We need people who will disclose information about bad things that governments do and bad things that corporates do. We need those people. On the other hand, it's important to understand that governments today have huge challenge in trying to find this specific person, like in 100 million people, to find this one person that is going to take a bomb and kill 100 people or kill 100
The problem is that now you only need one person to do whatever they want.
So the challenge is so big that governments today do a lot of creative things to try and find this person. We need to appreciate this challenge and their efforts in order to achieve their results, from one hand. On the other hand, we have to remember that power corrupts. And you know what? A lot of things that, some of the things that Edward Snowden actually published about the things that happened in the NSA actually revealed to the world that the NSA did some things that they shouldn't have done. And I'm not talking about collecting information about people. I'm okay with that. I know a lot of people are not okay with that. I'm okay with that. I'm talking about, for example, promoting the American economy over other countries' economy by collecting intelligence over economy-related decisions and economy-related trends in those companies. The information that shouldn't have been used in order to promote the American economy over someone else's economy. It's creating poor people in one country to create more rich people in another country. I think it's a bad thing.
And just to finish with all of this, you are in Mexico, you come from the university. What is the plans with Mexico, with Israel? You already talked about a little bit about that, but get a little more specific.
Yeah.
What are you achieving here in Mexico?
Yeah.
What is to work with the University of Tel Aviv? Because I think it's interesting. Mexico, you know, it's now one of the best partners of Israel, and Israel from Mexico. We have many things they are going. I know some people going to a trip of cybersecurity this weekend. We have our president going there. How do you see this relation? What you are looking here now from the University of Tel Aviv looking for?
So number one, I'm very excited to be here. It's a beautiful place. There are brilliant people here.
Thank you.
Sure.
You can see their cell phones and their information, so we know.
I really happy to be here. I think that in order to create an effective ecosystem for cybersecurity, you need more than great entrepreneurs. You need the government, you need entrepreneurs, you need big companies, you need the academia. And the Tel Aviv University, the Cyber Research Center, the Tel Aviv University, this is one of the things that we're trying to accomplish. We're trying to create an ecosystem for cybersecurity in Israel by collaborating between the academic research and the real-life problems, the enterprises, decision makers from the government. We're trying to have those discussions. I feel that the future of cybersecurity, if we want to create a safer future, we have to work together, not just inside Israel, but Israel and other countries, and specifically Mexico can be an amazing partner for Israel. And if we, the Tel Aviv University, can contribute to this, to establishing the relationship between Tel Aviv, Israel and Mexico, we will be very fortunate to be part of this journey. So my goal here is, number one, have interesting discussions with smart people in Mexico. Number two is trying to find partners that will work with us in order to create a safer future, right? Universities, enterprises, decision makers from the government and everyone else. And number three is to learn about the problems and the solutions and the future of cybersecurity as you see them here, because I feel that this can really enrich the discussion both in Israel and in Mexico if we will share our knowledge and perspective about the future.
Thank you very much. Something else you want to say us?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I want to invite you, everyone who's watching this video, I want to invite you. In June, we're going to have the International Cyber Week, where we have people from over 50 countries arriving in Israel to participate in this International Cyber Week. We have the 25 different events for the academia, for entrepreneurs, for investors, for decision makers, for everyone. It's a brilliant event, free of charge. We will be more than happy to have you there. We have the Prime Minister there usually, we have state officials from all over the world. If you want to learn about cybersecurity, about hacking, about the future problems, about future solutions, about groundbreaking researches that we're doing there, we will be very happy to have you there.
Repeat us when it is?
24th of June, this 2017.
All right, we have to be there. It has to be amazing. It has to be very incredible seeing everything that happens during this week.
Definitely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.